What's up, Zach? Congrats on your continued biggest bear dominance. I wonder if there'll ever be a day someone disrupts your dynasty. The day is not that day. They're probably just gonna get the wonder to like 15, and then I don't know, see what time it is. That's finished, and then I'll decide from there if we do. I don't know, magnet threes or something. Witness more taco abuse from Ina. She did an off collab with Hachima where they cooked takoyaki. I can't believe this. It's been a play all along to make us takodachi so that way she could have unlimited takoyaki. Isn't takoyaki like one of her favorite foods to eat? I don't know if you saw Wind put up a video of using the new Manatera. I honestly think it's probably just a case of you're probably only gonna really see it on harder fights because I can't really foresee the one-time heal all and debuff resistance lowered being like that big of a deal compared to the Leviathan and Ouroboros ones, or even like the Europa ones and water setups and stuff like that. Honestly, arguably, I don't even know if it would actually see much use in that case either, really. Because it's like, if you're gonna take the Mediterra for a one-off heal, why not just take Latrimos or Paladin? I mean, I guess yeah, it frees you up like a skill slot, but feels a bit wasteful over the other Maniterras available. I was thinking you're supposed to like farm the higher level ones for one XP, right? I need to make time to go. Apparently there's one around here that has soju, so I can finally try that out. I had a feeling that I was gonna somehow walk out with another staff while trying to get wonder levels. Oh well, it'll be fine. It's not like I was gonna use those materials for anything else. I don't remember how long it takes to get the wonder leveled up. Good video over the mastery fight. The debuff skill. Protector. Get blue chest on it. Not take that other stuff. Fair enough. I'll have to like look around to see what people are using for it. Like team wise. I should definitely do my daily host for it. I wish there was like a some way they could add a button right at the bottom that you could just buy all of the distinctions in one go without having to like manually go one at a time. I think the nice thing about the Magic Mastery one is that even if there's a specific one you want to get, you can't really be uh too sad about getting any of them because all three of them are pretty solid. Like distinctions for it, I mean. Because like in the Martial Mastery one, if you get unlucky, you just keep getting the Street King one. So I'm just sitting there like, why? What? Got an Electromantis distinction from both of your clears. It's a sign. Embrace the heals. Become one with them. I wonder. Oh. Not really. I mean, Tikka is this pretty Tikka. I was gonna say, like, I think Electromantis with the weapon might be good for Celeste. For Magnether. For solo play. Which fuck. I should probably stream it, but I feel like I don't know, it held up pretty decently. I played with Rick and Ina on the weekend where it didn't really crash until like almost 5.5 hours in, but just the thought of having it like just crash for no reason like that annoys me. Honestly, I think the fact that the Latramantis weapon gives their like non-recastable skill a 12 turn cooldown instead, like could actually give that some pretty decent use because that skill's actually kind of potent. I don't know. It's actually, to be fair, that's like part of the reason I also just don't do the martial mastery trial is because the only weapon I care from that is the Viking one. I mean, the paladin one would be nice to have too, but I only really care about the Viking one, just so I can use Viking again for certain setups. But it's like it's RNG which distinction you're gonna get, and I don't think you can buy those distinctions yet. It'll probably be a while for that you buy those. I thought I wanted to try. I'll probably do that over the weekend or something. I want to try out the the Berserker, that one Berserker game. A copy. Ooh. Sorry. Hi, hi. How are you? How's your week going so far? You're rolling the new Madoka Magic again? Oh, I haven't kept up with you gotcha games. Have you seen gameplay on it yet, or are you just giving it a spin because gotcha, gotcha. Start really, that's kind of interesting. Giving a spin because gotcha. Fair. Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I'll just be like, oh, new gotcha game install. Let's see what this is about. But I don't know. If it's because if it's not what I'm thinking of, I don't particularly have an interest in that series aesthetics. Probably it's good though. Until it gets you. No. Cappy and the gotcha vices. Did you keep up with the what is it? That one tribe game or something? Is it good? So I've felt it. Waiting for patches. The delayed the third chapter because they're making gameplay changes to the combat. Ah, what changes are they doing? Have they announced it yet, or is it kind of just like we're working on something? You'll see it when you see it. My thing is giving some characters frames they can cancel their attacks to parry to make combat smoother and buff melee units. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Good to see them willing to do changes like that this early. A lot of times games tend to forego early like gameplay changes for pushing out more banners and content to get people to spend more money. I know the way that I don't know because I tried the open beta they did before launch and I wasn't too keen on how the combat felt because it felt like super clunky for how punishing it was. If they make it feel like less clunky and smoother, that'd be pretty good. Like tension cards. I don't know what tension cards are. I'm assuming some sort of game mechanic. Comparing it to like ZZZ and such. Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's gonna happen. That's like their probably most like their current most direct competitor for the kind of like combat for like dodging and stuff. I don't know if it's like a complete fair comparison because you could tell that at least like from the open beta, it felt like they were trying to go for a more weighty Souls like feel than rather than just the dynamic, almost fighting game feel that ZZZ goes for. Speaking of, I haven't touched that game like Zenless in forever because I just do not care for any of the current characters that we know that are going to be playable. of starting GBF because we wanted to try the most complex gacha game according to the gacha game Reddit. I don't know if I'd call Granblue the most complex. I'd definitely say it's the most grindy one out there, though. Because like the most complicated thing would have been back in the day learning how the damage numbers work for stuff, because the damage calculation for Granblue is very like kind of convoluted, but it's not particularly that bad nowadays. It's pretty clear cut how things work because there's a ton of systems. I don't know, not really. Honestly, there really isn't. Like, there's a lot of things to do. Like, you have a lot of, especially if you're starting now. Uh, there's a lot of things that you can do, but in regards to like systems floats in and of itself, I would say it's pretty tame, honestly, in comparison to a lot of other gacha games. Like, for instance, combat's basically been the same for the most part. They've added like a slight variance for it, but you reach, bosses have diamonds underneath their health bars, which when they're full, they do a special attack. You have different ways of mitigating it through delays and stuff like that, adding extra diamonds to them. They have health triggers that now in some of the more current fights have like omens, which means you can cancel them and stuff like that. Like, in all honesty, like I wouldn't even say system blowaways. It's that bad. It can be a little iffy to navigate around. I'll tell you that much because it's like a browser game. No. So most people on the Reddit thread say. Do you have a link for it? I'm kind of curious. I don't know. I could be like biased because I've been playing this game for almost like 10 years. So like I had to play this game when it still didn't have an official English translation. So I had to like look at pictures and piece together like from a old school forum how to like what items did what and what to put in, or like what character skills did what for a little bit. That only lasted for like a couple months. I started because they added it pretty soon after I started. But honestly, I can't really say. Like there might, I mean, I guess like there could be like a lot of systems, like as I'm thinking about it, like for like awakening weapons and stuff like that. But it's like so sporadic because the core concepts that you're going to deal with is weapon grids, which work the same for all the elements. Uh, and they've been working the same way the whole time. Uh, Uncapping, which has also been worked basically exactly the same the whole time. Uh, I don't know, system bloat. I know. I'm curious to see what they wrote because I don't know, I'm trying to sit here and think, and it's like there's really not even that much to learn. Honestly, there's a lot to do, but I mean, I know they did add like an artifact system, but even then, that's like there's not a whole lot to it. It just happens naturally. You don't have to go out of your way to do different things. That's always. I have a friend who she's the one who recommended me the song like a long time ago when I was looking for songs to put on a playlist. And I don't even think she listens to this type of music anymore. You're on the daily grind. Oh, trust. Daily grind, you're gonna have plenty of shit to do. I think, let's see, before when I was still doing my 2 streams a day, where I would do 4 hours during the day, I would have Grand Blue full autoing on the side to do my dailies, which to be fair, it'll take longer because I'm full autoing. And I wouldn't even do every single daily available to me, and it would still take me more than like 4 hours to get it done. Then again, that's also like on the technically was current content, so that's a little faster when I do older stuff. But like especially if you're like a Magna player, which is the free to play players, where you're farming weapons from the raids, uh, you have 6 raids with 3 attempts each, so 18 raids total, which you can't open to the public, but generally it's kind of. I mean, right now would probably be a decent time to be hosting them because of the birthday missions, which I need to finish. But like a lot of times, there's gonna be gaps where you can't. Like people just won't respond to backup. Uh, and you'll have to like solo them, so that takes a long while. I don't know. Gotta. I'm trying to think, and it's like I can definitely see that people complaining about like navigations and trying to figure out where things are. Because that's definitely something that they've kind of slacked on a bit. They've done better in recent times. They've done a lot of UI updates and stuff. I'd say in the last like 6 months and stuff like that to make it a little smoother to find things and move around. But there's limitations because it's a browser game, and sometimes things that they see like on paper sound like a good idea aren't that great. But I think they've done a pretty good job for it. But in all honesty, unless you're like some sort of like super bleeding edge player where you're like all caught up and you're doing the hardest, like you've already done the hardest content, like which is a pretty small minority of the population. Most of us kind of just casually do our daily stuff and carry on with life. There's always like something to do. That's probably like one of the really good things like Grand Blue has going for it if you like that kind of stuff. They're always adding something and they're always doing a really good job of like adding value to older things, whether requiring like materials to uncap something or enhance something or uncapping the uncapping a weapon like series that is old. That's it. Okay, this guy is okay. Fuck off. Like, ain't no way he's adding fucking guild stuff, island development, and the alchemy lab. Get out of my house, brother. That's like shit you just do when you feel like doing. Oh my god. I actually just want to drop kick this person. The other undisputed winner for you. 11-year-old game where your team consists of MC plus 5 party members, 10 weapons, 5 summons. You sub aura summons. Many things are locked exclusively behind hours of gaming. No, lightly browse, yeah. Okay, you don't really lose the comfort of many modern games. That's actually a bit of an over exaggeration. A lot of visually outdated menus. I don't know about a lot. I don't even know if I'd say visually outdated. It's actually not that bad. I don't know. I'm also a bit more like old school on a lot of things. Realistically, I would argue there's certain things that Grand Blue does better than most gacha games nowadays do. For like comfort in your browser game. So yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like because like with browser stuff, it's like it's not as easy when you have like your own engine to kind of mess around with things. That's one of the reasons they cut off. They basically stopped support for everything that's not Skyleap and Chrome to cut down on that kind of development. Yes. Gotcha addicts, you know, experience all the gotcha mechanics you can. I'd say Granblue is probably a really good one. Granblue is the forefather of the pity system, as far as I'm aware. I used to play Ridge of Hummock back in the day. I never got to play that before it closed. I always wanted to. I heard like pretty good things about it. But it's actually made by the same company, by the way. In case you didn't know. Saying that it's real time. Bro, the worst part about that accusation, right? Which just shows me that he doesn't know what he's talking about, is the sheer amount of like guides you'll watch that in certain elements you have to wait like time. And it was like because if you go too early, you'll hit an omen that your element can't clear. Like it just shows me that he just doesn't know how to go. Only reason GBF eluded you is because you don't know Japanese. Oh well, I mean, I guess they don't do a good job advertising. Grand Blue's had an official like English translation since like their second year anniversary or something like that. It's actually been in English, like officially by them for like 9 years now. It can be a bit of a tricky to like navigate. Well, it was kind of tricky because I don't know when they did it. The login screen used to be in Japanese, even when the game was in English. But then they changed that, where you can change the language when you go to log in. Um, there's a language button that you can change it to English. I will say the when you make an account though, do it with Chrome. Like do it through Chrome, because you have to use Chrome anyway if you're gonna do browser. So just do that. It'll save you a lot of headache down the line. Especially because recently uh they've been kind of removing what you call it, support for some of their other login systems. I think like Yahoo is lost or is on the way out. Yeah, yeah. The end game one was a bit egregious because there's literally only like I think it's literally just Fa that has a mechanic like that. Because Hexa also is just like I don't think it's that bad. Like the time thing. I know the Omen thing gets out of control, but that's just game mechanics. At most, you have like one or two raids that have that system. Everything else is completely manageable. No, the worst part about Grand Blue, I would say, um, is uh, is that sometimes there's certain uh raid hosting etiquette that is expected that is not clear. And to be fair, nowadays there's only like one raid I can think of off the top of my head that has that. Most other raids that had something like that aren't too big of a deal, or like just it's just a non-issue. But sometimes there's certain things that are expected where if you open a raid and people jump in and they realize you haven't done it, and because nobody's told you, they just leave, and that takes up slots, which means if someone joins your raid and then abandons it, you can't get someone to replace them, which is really bad for the 6-man raids. But again, that's a very there's literally like one raid in the game, and most guides nowadays tell you. Most guys have like an actual, hey, this is how the host works. I would recommend if you want to try it. In all honestly, like I would have recommended trying it at the beginning of this month because this is the anniversary month. So you've missed out on a lot of like free rolls, but you can still get the second 100 free roll on towards the end of the anniversary celebration on the 29th of March. So you can get a lot of like you can have a pretty decent shot at getting a lot of good characters because right now there's a lot of free rolls. So I'd say jump in like sooner rather than later. But it's also pretty lucky because in a couple months we'll have like the summer event, like the summer stuff, which also tends to give a lot of free rolls and stuff. So it's a pretty usually March is kind of like the month you want to start if you're gonna play Grand Blue, because it's got a lot of free rolls lined up pretty quickly throughout. But yeah, no, honestly, like some of the things, to be fair, the MC plus 5 party members thing is again a bit of a non issue because for the most part, once you get your grid up and running, it'll be it'll be your like backline units are mostly there for support for the most part until you start working into some of the other things. like Grand Blue has a lot of systems. It's like a lot of things to do, but it also has a lot of things that you can just put off till later. Like for instance, someone brought up the Evokers and the Eternal systems, both of which honestly as a new player you can probably just forego for a while because both of which require a pretty decent setup. Not to mention nowadays they added the something called the Knickknack Academy, which generally gives you a pretty good guide for how to progress and gives you a lot of like weapons and grids and stuff, so you're not like shit out of luck. So like honestly, a lot of the complaints on here, it's just I feel like it's mostly from people that just kind of suck. Sorry, it's just kind of the truth. Because like for instance, the first comment dude was talking about how they were just like your dark opus and draconic weapons, grid pieces, which once you make them, you're done. Those are literally two grid pieces that you just toss them in and you forget they exist because they're permanently going to be in your grids. Granted, early on you'll have to alternate between which one you want to use because on harder content because you can't use them both at the same time. But once you get far enough in the game, eventually, which to be fair, even I haven't gotten that far, you can have both of them in your grids. Then he also brought up like your guild stuff. You don't do shit with your crew. Like in all honesty, yeah, they're from the Olympus Company people. I was I saw somebody mention it. It's like just win for honestly. But like he was just like your guild stuff. The only thing you do with the crew that like requires any sort of like active participation really is going into your settings and choosing to have like the normal weapons you get from questing just be used to upgrade stuff. That's all you have to worry about, honestly. And then the only other thing is unite and fight, which is crew versus crew, where all it is you just show up and you just beat up a dummy, and whoever gets the most points win. Like it's really not that. It's not a system that you really have to care about. I don't do jack shit for my crew besides showing up and getting like 500 mil honors in a guild wars and calling it good. Which it like that just guild wars is an event anyway. So it's just it's just that's like such a dumb thing to kind of talk about. Island development literally doesn't really matter because that's a crew effort thing. The only thing I think you have to go out of the way to upgrade is your specific like home. And even then I think do you even have to upgrade to get access to the alchemy lab anymore? Because I swear they changed that. Because I think like the biggest reason to do it was to get the alchemy lab access. And then the alchemy lab, which is something they brought up, which we just talked about, honestly has been kind of a snooze system where the only real reason to use it was for a specific thing for a class that you're not going to have access to anytime soon. And even then, it takes a lot of grind and it's not overly important. And I think the only reason it's even worth knowing about now is because of the new artifact system, which honestly is something that you can probably still ignore for a while because it's probably going to take you a while to get an artifact that's even worth a damn to use on your units. And that's not even going to be the most important thing you put on your units. They also bring up side stories. Again, another system you don't have to worry about. There's definitely a couple you should do early on because they offer you good stuff, like free SSR characters that are actually pretty solid, especially early. But for all intents and purposes, you can like ignore probably 80% of the side stories. That doesn't matter. It's really mostly just there to kind of just give you extra resources. For the most part, most people only really do them when it's the half AP anyway, because that's when it's the most efficient to do them. He brings up plus marks. Plus marks aren't anything. There's literally a button at the bottom that you click to go add plus marks to my grid. And even then, again, you're only really giving a shit about that if you're doing like current content, like harder. Yeah, you're either doing hard content, like hard current content, or you're probably like just barely too weak for something and you're using the plus marks to try to give your grids a little bit more oomph. Or you just have like a shit ton of plus marks and you just have like I think I have like 2 grids right now because of all the plus marks I have. Like I don't even think that's like a system you really care about because I forget half the times to even use it. What else? The class system itself is actually not that bad. It's a bit much to take in right off the rip, but realistically, you unlock and level up every single class anyway, so it doesn't matter. The only time it mattered was, well, and even that actually doesn't even matter because you go do side stories, you go do what makes the sky blue, and then you get relic buster, and you just literally don't give a shit until later if you don't want to. Like you'll eventually have to do all the classes, but really not that big of a deal in my opinion. That's just part of the grind. Um, some bastard is complaining about pro skips, but he's praising it, so it's fine. Uh, what else? What else can I take apart in this? Literally brings up bullet crafting. He put in parentheses, which only matters for two classes. Forgets to put that I think the only class that even cares about it right now is soldier, and I think the amount of like setups that you have that you use soldier in is like 2. And generally, I think you can't even use it in anything that's not primal. But I think that's the only grids that care about soldier at the moment. So if you're not gonna like swipe a lot, then you just don't care about the bullet system. That's not even worth talking about. Uh, the only things I could probably give actual credence to is learning how some of the buffs works because they've done a lot better job clarifying things. But there are certain things that do stack and don't stack, and then the icons nor the text really explain it very well. Granted, well, Cappy, have you played Relink at all? Like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink? Objects are gonna be ignored for a long while for new favors. Essentially, just min max system to get the most you can and you can. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you played it. All right. The grid system is what the character system was based off of. If that helps you kind of understand how the damage works. So like you'll have like a lot of raw attack that you feed into your system, and then you eventually get cap up in certain different capacities, and then like it's a very similar power scaling because that's what it was based off of was the gotcha game. It's slightly different. It's not like an exact one to one, but it's a very similar sort of like mathematic way of dealing with it. Not to mention, one thing that none of these accounts, like none of these Reddit people, this is also how I know they're kind of bad. Nobody has stated that Grand Blue to date has been probably the only gotcha game that has the best fucking wiki and community support for the game I've ever had in my entire life. The Grand Blue wiki is literally the holy grail of wikis for any game you want to play that's a live service game. I shit you not. I have yet to see another wiki that is ran by the community that is even close to as good as the Grand Blue wiki is. And the sheer amount of outside resources you can find that are like that literally just make 90% of the stuff they're complaining a non-issue is preposterous. There's the Grand Blue Fantasy Wiki. You have GBF guides, which is a fantastic resource. Sometimes they overlap with the wiki because the wiki does a really good job of telling you like grids and teams and stuff like that. Um, like, and these are just websites. And then there is a Twitter called Grand Blue EN, which is an unofficial EN translator or like just news for Grand Blue Fantasy that has been going strong since I started playing fucking forever ago, where they're constantly putting up updates and changes and like translating stuff from streams and stuff like that. Like nothing that requires you to join a Discord. Everything that's just available on hand. You can just look it up whenever. It's just pull it up on your stuff. Just fantastic, immaculate. There's a couple other like niche things, but those 3 things blow whatever community support any other fucking live service game. I don't even just mean like gotcha games. I'm talking MMOs because yeah, World of Warcraft has Wowhead, but I'm gonna be honest, Wowhead's okay. It's like it's all right. Like it's not. The reason Wowhead's considered really good in MMOs is because it's literally like the only thing for that. Like none of the other MMOs have something like even close to Wowhead for use. But honestly, just I'd say just Google GBF wiki and just look at it. It's so good. It's so clear cut. You have icons at the top. They have a really good new player guide. They have really good spots to go check your grids that are divided between new player and, you know, advanced players, stuff like that. The worst part is that nobody in this entire Reddit has complained about the actual thing that's a problem for new players that they do a shit job of explaining, and it's the character class EMPs. That is the only thing I would have given somebody in this entire Reddit post an okay on if they complained about it. Because that shit makes no sense. To this day, I don't understand it for 90% of it, in all honesty. Because that is literally the only system they've thrown in there, and I don't think they've done shit with it. Just the EMP system. Shit makes no sense what they give. Like just in general. That's probably like the only system that none of them have even mentioned that if somebody had mentioned, I would have been like, you know what, you're right. It's kind of stupid. Because, for instance, on the MC, you have so many EMPs, which are like extra mastery points. I think that's what it stands for. But they're like extra bonuses. But you have so many, and you have a cap of how many stars you can put in. It's like you can't get everything. And the game does a really bad job of explaining what to get. Like, you have to go to outside resources for that. That's probably like the one thing they fumble the most on, in all honesty. And nobody's mentioned it. That's how I know they suck. All the evidence I need that they're bad, feel bad. All right, I'll put my soapbox now because the ads are gonna start in like a little bit. They suck. I mean, like, I don't know if they suck. Some of these guys are probably in here like farming hexa on snooze, but like they're not really good at actually talking about what systems are kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. In my opinion, the EMPs are like the worst system in the game because they're not standardized. Every character has different, like every playable characters has EMPs, and they're not the same. Some characters will get ones that you're like, what the fuck is this garbage? And other ones will be like, why is this the most ungodly powerful thing like over here? And nobody's mentioned it. Nobody's mentioned it. Also, Fate episodes, I guess, kind of, sort of. I mean, they're free gems, really, at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter. Not to mention, this guy said Fate episodes, some of which are actually hard. Last time I checked, the only one that was really hard was the Alessio one, and that got rebalanced. And there's like a shit ton of guides out there for how to clear it anyway. I think the only other hard one is the Eternal one, when you're trying to unlock those skill 4. Which also has been rebalanced and is has a bunch of guides that'll tell you what to do and when to like just restart the fight. Put too much ice in my cup. I don't know. Can you tell I played this game a lot? It pisses me off when people complain about the wrong things. I want to play Uma. Oh, are they finally bringing the horse game out? I think Zelyric told me they had like an English website forever ago. I'll probably dabble in it a little bit. Yeah, the English one announced. Ah, nice. I guess I'll keep an eye out for it then. Someone that thread that said it would be loosely defined gacha games include card games. Then you give them master duels, no contest. Believable. Honestly, mood. That probably Magic the Gathering. You could toss it in there too. Yeah, I mean, like to be fair, I will say that Granblue has a lot, but none of the people have mentioned how there's lots of things to help you through it, community wise. Also, but yeah, if you wanna do it, I'd say get into it. Get into Granblue. Like honestly, not even like actually play it, but just like make an account like today, so you can get the free pulls. You'd have to see what time reset is for you. I don't know what time zone you're in, Cappy. For me, it's like 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time is when reset is right now. But like, I just log in and do the roulettes for the free pulls, so that way you can try to get some like SSR characters to build up, and then and then whenever you feel like actually playing the game, just go to the wiki, and go to the new player section. Between that and the in-game Knick-Knack Academy, you should be able to get a feel for it pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I had to stop because like, oh, never mind. One dude did name the EMP system. All right, high five that guy. That guy plays the game. Puzzle and Dragons. The best speaks of the truth. That's a gotcha gamer right there, bro. I used to play Puzzle and Dragons back in the day. I didn't know a damn thing of what I was doing either. I was just there, be like, oh, pictures look cool. Swipe, 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 swipe. I just stopped. I stopped. I remember I stopped playing it because it stopped running like super smoothly. It started pissing me off. Money on Puzzle and Dragon for sure. Yeah. Actually, say the oh, that's actually tragic. I'm crying. What, bro? I'd hold a funeral. I'd actually hold a funeral. And I think what is it? It was very similar to Brave Frontier. What was it called? Grand Summoners. That's the one I spent a lot of time on. That I don't know if they ended up doing better, but that game was a bit of a shit show. And that one I think I had to restart 3 times because I kept forgetting to like bind my account, and then I would change phones. Yeah, I got you back into Soccer Spirit. Soccer Spirit's a game I've heard. I've never actually played. I know a couple people that have dabbled in it. Never actually like got around the try. I think before Granblue, the gacha game I spent the most time like playing, and one that I actually spent like mm, I'd probably say like a couple $100 in it over the entirety of the time I played it, was this little like gacha game called Knights and Dragons. whenever I wasn't spending money on the weekend to like go drinking, I just toss like 20, 30 bucks at a at that to try to get some armors and stuff. One of your uni friends and you were ranking really hard in that one. I don't think I don't think I've known anybody that like in person that's played the same gotcha games that I do. Probably gonna butcher your name, but we welcome in. I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to tell me how you want to be like called, because if not, I'm probably gonna accidentally butcher it every time. But how's it going? Actually, I haven't paid attention. My wonders leveled up after the last one. I think it's like level 13 now. Yeah, one of the weird things that people did bring up on that thread was like one guy was talking about like the wonders, which is what I'm leveling up now, which is like permanent additions, but they're also attached to like an event. So it's just like I don't know. I guess that's like probably the reason probably I don't consider it like system bloat is because it's attached to like something. It's not like always active. And to be honest, the bonuses on it aren't like game breaking. I think they're very like minute bonuses. Like they're nice to have. Our crew was a bunch of whales. Sheesh. I think like I've known people personally who played gotcha games. Never played the same one. There was one guy I knew personally who like I think in the first 4 months, I think, that Grand Order had the its global release had dropped like 3 grand on it or some shit like that. I don't remember how much he spent on it. And I just looked at him like he was insane. I was like, bro, of all games you want to drop that much money on, you choose Fate Grand Order. He's like, shrugs. The amount of money that that man gave to the Fate series in general, insane. Gilgamesh ran, you had to quit. I don't even think I don't think I made it past like a week of casually playing that game. I wasn't invested enough in the Fate series for it. The rates were atrocious, and I wasn't really that big of a fan of the combat system or the aesthetics. So I was just like, I'm out. Peace. 2K. Happy like I'm gonna be Gilgamesh IRL. I'm trying to think how much. Ziller, do you remember how much the guy spent for Monkey that caused Spy Games to make the Spark system? That's a couple grand, wasn't it? 6K USD, yeah, it was pretty up there. Yeah. So Grand Blue Fantasy used to not have a pity system. I don't remember if it's like official that Grand Blue Fantasy was like the first one to implement it, but I think Grand Blue Fantasy was kind of like the first mainstream slash big gotcha game that that implemented a pity system. And it was specifically because someone spent too much money and like in their own words to get a character. And they were just like a spark system, you get 300 pulls and you can guarantee getting the character, that's like featured on the banner or whatever. Which, cuts it down from potentially dropping 6K to I think it's like it's like what, $30 for a 10 pull? So it's like 300, I think it's like what, like 900 bucks? 900, $1,000. to guarantee the character. You get wings in Ragnar. It's because you want to let your dreams fly. I can't believe it. That's insane. It's so funny to me because like potentially I could like spend money on like a gotcha game for stuff, but spending money on like an MMO is I don't know if it's because I spent so much of my life playing sub-based ones where you don't really have a lot of where like well at least back then there wasn't a whole lot of like extra to buy because I played a lot of WoW before they started the shop. And it's just like I don't know. It's a Final Fantasy 14 one, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, whatever. I think I bought one thing off of that shop, which was the when they had a sale. I bought the light stick cheer set because it was too good. Nothing like dying in a raid in like a dungeon fight or something, and the healer's dead too, and so we're like we respawn and run back, and we're all just standing at the entrance waiting to get in, doing the little cheer emotes. Like you got this, you can do it. Go tank, go! You're a warrior. Yeah, I remember watching you do like the guild fights. Mostly incorrect 100 yen for dollar metric. 100 USD. Yeah, like I know or at least I was gonna say I know that I kind of know the money because when I spent uh when I went to go buy the pick ticket forever ago when I got Siegfried, it was $30, which was the price of a temple. That's like about like 900. It's probably like a little bit of a variance now, but I mean it's still a far cry from dropping a couple thou. NK USD first week. Are you? I am the weakest of the weak. Best I can do is like $3.50 over an installment plan of 3 months. Yeah, no, Ragnarok I've known has always been like a whales game. That's a whales game. Which is kind of funny because like what is it? Ragnarok and like the old school Ragnarok Online and like Maple Story were like the two games that I always knew people that played a lot. And I always wanted to get into it, but for one reason or another, I either never got around to playing it or I got around or like I'd play it and there's just something about it that I wasn't a big fan. Like Maple Story was one that I actually tried. Like I think I've tried playing Maple Story like 6 times. I don't think I can make it. I don't think I play it for more than like 2 hours every time because I can't. I don't know why. But then I'll watch like somebody else play. Like I'll watch like Boss Kai Kai play. Like she'll play it and I'm just like Maple Story. Oh, it looks so fun. And then I'll just be like, no, never mind. It's just not for me. And then Ragnarok Online, I think I got to like I forget what level was high enough to turn into a Lord Knight. Because what is it? My Grand Blue crew, when I was more active in the Discord, we were gonna do like a guild in Ragnarok online because there was like a new private server or something launching, and I think I was like the last man standing for that one, and I was like, and I'm like all of them. I think they all quit like so fast, and I'm just there. I'm just like I'm on the Lord Knight, just hitting shit with my spear, having a great time. And then that one I stopped playing just because it was like I got caught up in real life stuff, and then I just never went back. But then a game that I like playing, I enjoyed playing it. I think I've streamed it like twice. Whenever I'm like I don't know what to play, is Tree of Savior, which is I guess like Ragnarok inspired. Well, that game is so fucking confusing. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing in that game. And it looks so cool. I love the art style for it. But it's like every time I pick it up, I'm like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm beating up a bush. New mobile Tree of Savior coming. I'm not surprised. Oh, have you ever played Seven Knights? Did you see their now after having shut down like the original one because nobody wanted to play their sequel, but then nobody played the sequel anyway? They're relaunching the original Seven Nights apparently. We don't talk about the idle game. That idle game is hot garbage. Yeah, from what I saw, they are relaunching the OG one, which I'm hoping that it. I don't remember if they mentioned it was going to be global or not, or if they had plans to go global. That's probably one of the other gotcha games I played a lot of. Not as much as Grand Blue, but I played that every single day. I love the min maxing for the PvP and stuff. Even though I couldn't beat the whales, but I could do pretty well in the other PvP mode. I think there's like one PvP mode that was like you're going in there because you're just trying to get whatever freebies if you're not a whale, and then like there was the other one that was you could actually compete if you weren't a whale. You just had to have the right characters and farm the right gear, and you could do pretty good. King's Raid is gonna get relaunched. Oh, really? King's Raid? I think that's another one. I tried it a decent amount at launch, and then I forget there was something on it. Like there was a system in that game that I didn't like, and I can't recall what it was. Oh wait, hold on. I think my Wonder just yeah. More? Ain't no way. You shut your dirty mouth. What do you mean more levels are planned for a later time? You can suck my. Can't believe it. That pisses me. I was really hoping 15. We wouldn't have to worry about 15. All right, this. All I need to know is who is she? Does she survive? And when is she going to become playable? That's all I need to know about this story event. Honestly, that's it. Oh, also, yeah, you're right, Zerk. He's got the, I guess, like the other half of the mask. So yeah, Seven Knights have like probably one of the coolest like alt casting animations, and probably to this day still has the what should we call it? One of my favorite character designs with what's his face? The ice dude with the axe, Spike. I think it was called. He was pretty cool. To be fair, that was also another one that honestly the balancing wasn't like too terrible in it. At least when I played. Yeah, I might try the relaunch for King's Raid. Oh, yeah, I've heard people talking about a theory. I might check it out when it pops up. Oh, the art style for Granblue. Yeah, they're always like uh they're always really up there. It was so funny because I follow a lot of cosplayers on Instagram, and I remember there was like two of them that were like, I don't know what this is from, and they showed a picture. One of them I remember being Black Knight, and then the other one was Vera, like for one of her older costumes. And they were just like, we don't know where this is from. These look cool. And so obviously, as a Grand Blue player, I had to be like, those are from Grand Blue Fantasy. But I should at the very least buy the was it two staffs? Buy the two staffs because oh, actually, I only have one staff. Never mind. Who gives a shit then? I forgot that I had bought three of them. Okay. I never have too few diamond crystals. I don't think I really need steel. I never. I did all of that and I never finished unlocking all of that. Oh, I was actually curious about that. I didn't realize had added something with the leftover thingies. All right, Cappy. Good luck with the art. Make it fancy. I don't know how anyone can stand the crate having 999 plus red bubbles. Because I'm too lazy to go through it. Is honestly the answer. Like every once in a while, I'll go like, especially after the roulettes, I'll go do the plus marks and then sell the R weapons and then just call it good. It's also because I'm too lazy to go through all the summons I need to go through for like reducing. Because every time I look at them, I'm like, well, what if? What if they rebounds and I need it later? One, two, like three of them. Three. Never mind, I have enough to fully do Zephyr. I haven't gotten an Agni in a while. I also have two extra rafts. I don't know. I've always just had them 900. I'm just too lazy to pull out summons and weapons and stuff like that. So whenever I need to reduce weapons for stuff, I'll reduce it. Stuff like that. Oh right, I forgot about her thing. I don't think her. No, I don't think her is used as her like Magna at all. I'm debating if I want to Dama bar this. It's just I don't know if do I still have that like YOLO primal. That's Mag. I used to have one of these set up as a primal as an Agni. There it is. That's still it replaces the what even is the current primal grid for fire? I know it's like two spears for like the full grid. Oh. Huh. Apparently it's two Lord of Flames, two uh Crimson Scales, two spears, and then Ultimate Axe, which I do plan on making. Obviously the Opus weapon. Or in this case, I guess maybe the Magna one, just to give it a different modifier. And then Exalba. Well, I guess in this case it would be the new Yule sword. Hmm. I mean, aside from the fact that my acne isn't fully transcended, if I ever somehow stumble upon a second Zeta spear, uh, probably would fuck around with acne at that point. Yeah, I need to get what should I call it? To get some of the other stuff. Uh, Probably just call it there though. Honestly, I was feeling kind of meh, and we're at like an hour and a half. It's good enough. We got the wonder leveled up. Tomorrow we'll just do some what should we call it? We'll just do some catch up on Star Rail story. It'll still take a while before we get fully caught up, but might as well chip away at it for a little bit tomorrow night just to relax. Friday night will probably be no stream. Honestly, haven't decided yet. I'll figure it out. Mostly because my nieces will be here for the weekend, and I don't feel like having those rambunctious bums running around. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Though I do appreciate it. I'll let y'all know on Discord for Friday if we're gonna have a stream or not. So feel free to stop by, say hi if you'd like. But if it's late in the day for you, have a good day. If it's late at night for you, hope you rest well. Stay safe, stay hydrated. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, bye bye.